Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wrestler Review. My name is John Hastings.
I'm Dylan Gott, and today we'll be discussing what the entire wrestling world is discussing.
Oh, man.
That, of course,
Us
being the
being-
5-minute victory Powerhouse Hobbs had over Ricky Starks.
Can you believe
using
it?
the spine buster.
It's glad to see Arn Anderson's finishing maneuver finally getting its due. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Dave Bautista did a fine showing with it, but my God, I've never seen it in the hands of... I agree completely. It's the Hobbs buster now.
Here's another thing.
Your Hobbs is busted!
Before we bury the lead a bit here, here's something I would like to say to everyone is that if you're a professional wrestler out there, and I guess this goes for comedians as well, so maybe I'll take my own advice. If you are a man who looks dope, slick, nasty, like Hobbs does, in a fur coat with some overalls, maybe don't have a t-shirt, sell your fur coats.
I gotta
Sell?
tell you.
Hey, what's your t-shirt? Oh, that's a $20 t-shirt. Oh, what's mine? $3,000 mink.
Yeah, and I got news for you. I know wrestling fans. There is always 100%. One guy that is either too drunk or just crazy enough to do it.
That is a look that obviously it's good that it's gone, but just a faux fur coat with a suit underneath where it's like, how do I keep warm? I keep warm. I have 4 coats on.
No one is talking about
a
how
vest
crazy
and a coat.
And we will get to what everyone's talking about in the wrestling world in a second. But first, let's talk about the 2000s again. No one talks about when that look was very popular, and that was
not very popular. It was just Kid Rock did that fur coat.
Yeah, but it was also in Montreal. It was something you would see in Montreal in the club district. It was enough that douchebags. You know what I'm saying? In front of Trois Pistoles.
Who gives a fucking shit? It's Powerhouse Hobbs.
Goddamn right. You know that Christopher Reeves didn't break his spine when he fell off that horse. It's now official. He broke his Hobbs. That's right. They renamed it. Hobbs after how good he does the spine buster.
He powerhoused his own Hobbs. That's when you break something. Is now called powerhousing.
I wish I could disagree with you so there would be something compelling.
The acclaim is over. You know what my favorite thing is about Tony Khan is I don't know how much he probably is one of those guys who doesn't think he's racist, but just for some reason like spits whenever he hears a black person on the radio or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like they wrestle each other. That's what they do. Oh, who should swerve in our glory face? How about the Acclaimed?
Yeah, that makes sense.
How about this? We need a new opponent for Powerhouse Hobbs. What is Jesse Jackson doing? Then
Tony
Reggie
Khan
Jackson
really strikes me as the kind of guy that steps it over the line in terms of comments. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll put that together and then he'll look at someone and be like, when they're all in the ring, we won't have to worry about our wallets. He'll say something like that, and everyone's like,
100%.
Jesus, but all right, yeah, I guess. Like, how much?
He seems like you know how they read that entire book about how the alt-right became, which is basically jokes like the one you just made, and then no one laughs, and he's like, well, you can't say anything anymore, can you? And then that's how you get.
Yeah. I've read all of these books. Yes, and no,
that's TK. Oh, I was explaining it to the listener.
Yeah, TK is. If Incel has enough money that he'll still get to fuck, is Tony Khan. He is a wizard who's lost his wand, to use the parlance.
I still think that once again, like we said, AEW is doing great. We are just nitpicking, and one of the nitpicks is for some reason black wrestlers are only feuding with other black wrestlers. Do we look like both types of guys that start really awful Reddit threads? Yes.
Yeah, we both do look like the not the guys that are hosting those podcasts that you're like, holy shit, we look like the producers of really flash them. You realize they only had money for that person to have a set. We're just clearly in a living room.
Sorry, Steven, I can't edit the show this week. They double booked me overnights at security.
Yeah, sorry, they were no longer letting me just use a laptop here at the Apple store, so I guess we're gonna have to actually use some of the Patreon money.
Here's my favorite thing I've ever seen in a public library.
Go ahead. Go the fuck ahead. What a fucking run-up. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone sit the fuck down.
Favorite thing. I used to go to the...
Of course. Yeah. The early 2010s, hanging out in the public library, the inspiration from Mike Harrison's joke.
Every time I go back in there.
What a time. Let's go
every time I go back in there, I think, why did I ever leave?
Of course. Came homeless.
This man came in. He had a 70-inch television. I know what they look like. He brought a 70-inch flat screen. He must have just lived across the street. And why did he do that, John?
I don't know, but
Because he had a lot of V-Bucks to spend in WWE 2K15, and he wanted to download some fucking wrestlers, John.
so he used their
And he was fucking like around the horns. He would eat a Cheeto and then lick every single finger twice. It was I wanted to fucking shoot him with a gun, but also what he was doing was the greatest thing I've ever seen. And he was loudly like, and I was looking at the screen so long, it's like, you want to see what arenas I have? And then that was like at a time when I didn't have a next-gen system yet, so I was like, I absolutely want to see the arenas, sir. And then he just showed me, he's like, and SummerSlam, it was...
Oh my Jesus fucking Christ.
And that man's name was CM Punk.
Oh my God. Holy shit. It was all right.
You know what, though? Honestly, even in spite of the terrible things that he has done to your friend and mine, Mr. Cole Cabana.
Correct.
I think CM Punk could make it up to us in one small motion. Mr. Brooks, if you want to just add a U in the middle of CM, then come Punk. And
I'll forgive it.
I'll full slap Cole Cabana every time in the face I see him. I'll be like, he changed his name to Come Punk.
Yeah. Come Punk says hello, Cole. Boom, boom.
And everyone else's hand, this is a microphone. In my hand, I'm going to put this in my butt real easy. And then he just slips it in there. Ooh, so easy. Someone's watching this for the first time because they're like, I wonder what these incels have to say about CM Punk.
Yeah, I can't believe that Gavin McInnes and Steven Crowder's producers are doing a podcast together. Who's this man named Come Punk? Is he a philosopher of some sort? Well, in a way. Ladies and gentlemen, we are, of course, today going to talk about CM Punk. And he really went off. You know what he did? He dropped another pipe bomb, Dylan.
Oh, yeah. As we were talking about this in one of my sassy group chats, and Alex Wood had the best joke was he basically said his impression of the pipe bombs, because we decided that he probably drops a lot of pipe bombs on AJ Lee when she doesn't do the dishes.
God.
And his was
getting a lot of hot takes.
Yeah. AJ Lee rejects him 4 dates in a row, and then he sits cross-legged in the kitchen. He's like, I don't hate you, AJ. In fact, I like you. What I hate is this idea that you can refuse me sex. That was his I
100%.
do. Honestly,
you summed it up perfectly in a tweet from this podcast account, which is he is the greatest wrestler of our age, and he is definitely the biggest cunt of all time. Like, it is both of those things at the exact same time.
We've said this before, though, but it's like, you need that willing ignorance.
Yeah.
Like, this is a man.
Am I a sociopath? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do I believe that for some reason this belt is my dad? Yes, I do. This belt is my dad. My dad didn't have a big gold belt. AJ, it's Phil. I know you said you went to bed, but I'm leaving you a voicemail to let you know I'm jacking off. Just letting you know that. Not trying to.
You should be sucking this.
Oh my God.
I'm wasting it.
Yeah, I'm wasting it. You're where?
No introduction, no anything. That's some voicemail she get. I'm wasting it.
Yeah.
Now I've wasted
your food could have had my cum on it. Your food could have.
You have to eat this Kleenex now.
Yeah. You know what? These socks are going in your shoes.
Yeah.
You agreed to a lot when you signed that prenup.
I think that CM Punk is just
Christopher Masters Punk,
angry man.
I also think a part of this now is work shoot. I am one of those absolute assholes on Twitter.
I like that. You're the first one sorry to cut you off. You're the first person I've seen espouse this theory who legitimately doesn't look exactly like the comic book guy from The Simpsons. So
I know, and I thank you very much, and I got to tell you, it feels good to be among. I feel like what I am. I feel like when they see that I'm on their side, I was foretold in an ancient scroll. We always knew you'd come. Hello, friends. Shall we go to a discotheque? So yeah, here's what I'm thinking is that everyone is aware that there was no love lost between Cole Cabana and CM Punk. Whatever happened. They are using that as clearly something that people have been sort of wondering and speculating about on the internet since CM Punk arrived. Clearly also playing up on the fact that something is up with CM Punk's injury or something, and that why did he drop the title to Jon Moxley only to win it back at All Out? Do you see what I'm saying?
I think it's a good story. It's just that story, they did it in 2 weeks instead of like months and months of like doing. You remember when John Cena lost to The Rock at the first time he fought The Rock, and they're going to do that story where it's like he just doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a really great story to tell with a guy like John Cena who is impenetrable to be bad booking. It always has been, whatever. And then immediately he just beats Brock Lesnar and they fuck the story. They did like a faster, worse version of that where like Moxley wins quick. You can have Moxley steamroll everybody for a million years. Everyone loves John Moxley. And then you can have Punk win the title back. The problem is that now the other thing I guarantee this is, it sounds weird. There's so much I want to talk about with this. An underlying thing, and the thing I really like is that we're free to do this because a lot of podcasts that I listen to at least are kind of like afraid to just say bullshit, and we just fucking called Tony Khan a racist or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. The nice thing about this podcast is exactly this.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. We've been here a long time, and we have the people that are with us, and everyone else is going, stop saying "come" so much, and
everyone else left town.
We choose "come." Newsflash, popularity.
We drew a line in the sand, then we nutted on the line.
Exactly correct. We choose.
And then I
cum.
Snorted the cum.
Of course,
and then I said my nose is pregnant with a dick baby,
and
then I showed everyone my dick.
I said congratulations, and then CM Punk was there for no reason, and he was like, "Oh, your nose is AJ Lee, and your cum was me."
Yeah. Also, CM Punk is a fucking abusive boyfriend. Let's throw that, or husband, sure.
Yeah. Let's just get sued.
Oh, actually, he would. He's not. That was parody and satire.
That's correct. We're both comedians. Live from our houses. This is a joke.
I'm not in a house. I'm in a fucking...
Live from Dylan's garage.
Our garage. Old school, buddy. Mark Maron style. Anyway,
live from a place where definitely some people were beheaded in the mid-2000s.
Guarantee, here's another thing. CM Punk, let's use a shitty analogy, which I'm apt to do.
Go ahead.
CM Punk took his sheriff's badge, went home. Couldn't handle town. Young Bucks and Kenny Omega roll up. They're the sheriffs now. He's pissed. Kind of. He used to be the king of indie wrestling. He certainly single-handedly made indie styling and like basically proved the viability of having indie wrestlers 100%. In the WWE. And now these four guys are running a company, and he's clearly like, why the fuck do I have to... Like, he came in, his first promo, someone splashed it. He came in and was like, oh, I lead this place. And these four dudes literally came up with the idea for the company and are trying to tell him what to do. And he says, no, you're wrong. Here's how I do it. You've said this a million times. CM Punk is someone who's very good at the job. This happens a lot in the arts. And then they just leave for a bit, and they come back, and things aren't exactly the same, and they can't fucking handle it.
Yeah, and it's also, there is a way that they thought
He's still
something.
Great. He's still so fucking good. I just want to say
amazing at being a wrestler.
So good. Because he genuinely believes he can beat up like
exactly
Thanos. He thinks Thanos is real and he could fucking kick him. And those
I guarantee
times were
he's like, okay, once I'm the champion of AEW for a little bit, then Mickey Call's gonna get it. Like, I guarantee that his plan is eventually work up a way to get back to the UFC. Like, that is what we've learned about Phil Brooks.
He's not gonna be back in the UFC, but
this is a plot. This is what he's gonna try and do.
I think a fun thing to play would we should do this. We should have this show would be, what would CM Punk be if he wasn't a wrestler? And I think the clear answer is the world's worst bouncer. He'd just be getting his shit pushed in every fucking Friday night at Boston Pizza by some like hockey bro who even when the hockey bro's 40 and has just had a couple too many with his friends is like, do I really have to beat you up like I did in high school? He's like, those were all ties, and then he just beats him up again in the parking lot.
Could be that guy. Also could be head chef who's 40, girlfriend 21, met her when she was 17.
Yes. Oh, look in my eyes.
Crash
I'll tell you what, I see that you looked good when you were 14. No, I'm a chef and you were a hostess.
Yeah,
I'm divorced. I can't see my kids. No, I don't drink. I'm just like this all the time.
Yep, all true. All
the guy snaps on you like that. You're like, you weren't drunk? You need therapy tomorrow.
Yeah, you're like, oh man,
you fucking loser.
Might just be you. That might just be you, bro. That's you. That's on you,
it's
man.
True. Talk to everyone said this, but like, This isn't the fucking 80s, dude. Talk to them backstage. Also, apparently they fought backstage, which is
I don't
very
think
funny
they
to
did.
me.
I do not think they did. I think it's a absolute worky
Remember when
shooty.
Brett and Sean fought?
That's exactly, yeah. When Brett and Sean fought, we found out 7 years later because Jim Cornette had a bag of the hair in his house. Which, by the way, let's go back to those days of wrestling. Where just how do we find out things? 7 years later, Jim Cornette says things. Also, here's my cockamamie theory.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk is doing a lot of this because it mirrors the booking that Jim Cornette laid out on his podcast, and I think CM Punk is going, if I cater to that massive audience that is very much a vocal and large part of the internet wrestling community, I will basically have a part of the audience of this show that will always have my back. So I kind of can be like the best version of that doesn't work for me, brother, you've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? That's my other cockamamie theory. Yeah, because
I don't think this is planned. I think this is just a man with anger issues who literally
I think it's both
didn't
of these
talk
things.
to his family for.
Oh, it's both. Both of those things are happening at the exact same time. They are.
Yeah, the guy is completely fucked. Like, he just doesn't. A lot of it just rings true to me as far as like this was gonna happen because you can't have a guy like this who like makes himself to be a super alpha. And like also the lines of AEW have always been a bit weird. Like these guys are all EVPs, but like lost power basically, and now the money guy is also doing all of the creative and brought in his like favorite wrestler of all time. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I think the other thing no one is pointing out is that his most famous promo, the pipe bomb, was a very similar situation in that it was a worked shoot angle. Everyone was in on it, but it was done over in a really nice way to skirt the line. This is a much more extreme version of that definitely reflects all of the confusion we have about all of the roles you just laid out and exploits that perfectly for television in that everyone's going, why aren't we talking about MJF? Motherfuckers, look at the advertising for fucking Dynamite. All it is just MJF is speaking. It is setting up so fucking clearly ex-WWE guy versus AEW, and what they're going to try and do is it's going to be this weird thing of basically it's going to turn MJF face as they turn Punk heel. It's that, do you understand?
That seems like the best way to do it, but then if it's actually a work shoot, wouldn't you just immediately go to Kenny Omega?
No, because they're smartly listening to a big part of their audience that does not accept the elite in that way. You can shrug at your shoulders, but in terms of actual wrestling critique, the way that wrestling is lined up in the internet now, which for some reason we've all just decided like, all right, we're going to treat this like baseball in the 30s and wait for Dave Meltzer to fucking stop chewing like sunflower seeds and talking to a microphone. But like people reacted more to MJF and CM Punk than they were reacting to the elite, with the exception of probably Adam Cole. AEW
Adam
is
Page,
smart enough. Pardon me. Thank you very much, Adam Page. Who's Adam Cole?
Adam Cole is another wrestler.
Good.
Basically, CM Punk wants. This is the crazy thing. It just seems like he doesn't want to be in AEW. He wants to be in NXT 3 years ago.
Yeah. But he's not.
And again,
yeah,
exactly.
I think we're all.
And you're right, though.
Everyone's
he does
working under this pretext that this is all fucking real. And it's some of this is fucking wrestling, guys. Like,
I just don't think like that you would go on and jeopardize the viability of your entire company by attacking EVPs. If it wasn't like,
but we don't know that actually. Hang on. No one knows that happened. We know that Dave Meltzer was told that. Like, I'm not trying to be Eric Bischoff.
No, 100%. I get what you're saying.
Literally, you know what I'm saying? But it's like everyone is just like, well, the liars told us the truth, so we better believe these carny liars. Like,
I hope the security guards made a lot of money. I hope that those guys are going to do their own shoot interview for like 5Gs and just talk about the pathetic fight. Because this is what I was saying about Brett and Sean, is that we were like, ooh, Brett and Sean fought. Yeah, exactly. They just pulled each other's hair. I guarantee the scuffle or the fight. The fight was like one missed punch.
That noise happened. Like no one looked good.
Also,
in that
it's
fight.
not fair. Like CM Punk, for whatever you want to say, as far as professional fighting goes, CM Punk is the worst professional fighter.
Yeah, he still was a professional fighter. Is what you're saying?
He's been training. No matter how shit you as an athlete you are, which he's a fucking Anthony Pettis and fucking actual world champions for years now. Like, how is that a fucking fair fight? You're going to swing on two guys who are, like, basically like, hey, we're gymnasts. Who, like, 5'3" gymnasts? We're just swinging on two hornswoggles now?
Yeah, well, they're
Do you know what
standing
I
on
mean,
each
though?
other's
Like-
shoulders. I do know exactly what you mean, and you make a great point, which is, again, why I think there's some exaggeration to this. Also, the incorporation of a steel in the back, all of that sort of stuff. Like, maybe there was an argument, all of that sort of things. If there was actually a fucking scuffle to this extreme, they're in fucking trouble, though, because what do they actually do? Because you're fucked either way. If you fire the four of those guys, Triple H will literally
suspend.
And what are you gonna fucking? No matter
They
how
are
you cut it,
they
it
are
is
way more
such a
valuable.
positive for those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
And
like,
they can
well,
find new funding and do a wrestling company because they can be like, look what we did once.
oh my god, with and also no, WWE, Triple H will walk. Vince McMahon will commit like he'll just kill himself to get the you understand? If they could have the One Winged Angel song played on Monday Night Raw, Triple H's dick would explode. It literally in the middle of the ring, he would stand there and
And Kenny Omega clearly for these two nerds needs an editor. Like all the inside wrestling shit. Like you're right. Like me and John are not Japanese wrestling fans, so there is guys like us who are like for very very different reasons. But like. There are part of it, like where if you don't watch Japanese wrestling, some things about these guys just don't click. I mean, the Young Bucks are amazing. I don't want to say that. I think Adam Page is great. I think he's like got a little bit to go before he's like amazing. Kenny Omega is obviously amazing in the ring, but like all his ideas for his character are like I think actively bad.
Yeah, like all of his ideas are like
you're in the complete darkness now.
And I'm really enjoying the chat, but I just wanted to check something. Very good. I couldn't remember which was which between Adam Cole and Adam Page.
In
and it was driving
the darkness, you had to check something. You had to turn the light off.
The light of the screen is the only light going because I just got to enjoy it with the chat, and I keep forgetting to turn the light on because we start recording exactly as the sun sets. And let me tell you what this about Southern California: the sun sets not like in Canada. Ease.
It just goes like boom.
Yeah.
Off.
Goodbye. Yeah.
Fuck
hey, done.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Night now. Jacket. Go.
So this is the other thing is so all right, let's walk through this then. CM Punk.
I'm walking.
As far as
Dylan.
What do you think their end goal is if it's a
I thought we were walking.
John, let's frustrate everybody. Also, you text me and said that they didn't fight because they're video game nerds.
I do believe that I was about to get to this. The only one of them that actually looks like he knows how to open a beer is fucking Hangman Adam Page.
What a father of three way to say something.
Do you know exactly what fucking
looks like these guys use the pop tops for everything.
No, these guys look like they really fucking enjoy playing fucking Zelda and wouldn't know a thing or two about fucking throwing a pigskin if you couldn't fucking, anything else.
I think that here's the other thing is if you video games and you're bullied a lot, I think you're more likely to learn how to fight just because you were this has been proven you're never hungover or anything. You're a big loser and
that's correct. You are never hungover. The other thing to remember, I still maintain very positive.
Also, I'd love it if CM Punk, I just thought of this, I apologize. I just love it if CM Punk was face to face with Kenny Omega, who was yelling at him, and then he turned and punched one of the Young Bucks. Or he's like, too big.
That's what I really
we should bite him.
It's so crazy that it's
then
like
he fucking Pac-Mans him.
Who the fuck was your backup, CM Punk? My wrestling trainer and my dog that has a weird underbite that's very adorable. Let's be honest. Punk's dog, number one. Best part of this whole story.
I've come to really loathe people talk about their dogs too much, so that's just another layer of me not liking that man as a person.
I got
nothing against dogs, but if you're saying grand doggies, like it's your grandkids,
we're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
Your mom is puking. She's so angry at you.
Yeah, your mom.
She wants a child, not not something that's gonna live for 10 years.
Yeah, this is not my granddaughter. This is something that should not be on the sofa. Bridget.
You can say it's its birthday. It has no fucking idea.
Yeah. It's not visiting me at the home. I'll fucking say it.
Yeah. Oh, what's the other thing? Yeah. Well,
You're
the
reason I
promo
drink.
that started
Go ahead.
it. The promo that started. You're the reason I drink. The promo that started it, of course, was the Hangman Page thing, where like no one really got, which was just talking about Colt Cabana and how
So
CM Punk is basically like, obviously you're not a fucking idiot. CM Punk comes on. There's all these rumors about them having a bad relationship, but everyone in their mind probably thought maybe they'll make up because whatever. Nope. Colt Cabana's on Dark, and then after a while in ROH once, and then never again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'd say like other than like really big shit is awesome for CM Punk. But like other than that, since he's come to the company, it's like you've kind of seen it trail off. Malachi Black has pretty much been written off television because, and it makes total sense. You can't have two tattooed karate boys, and CM Punk is the better one.
This is absolutely true. The thing also to say about the Colt Cabana, like CM, like I also don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't actually know anything that what happened there. All I
Why would you?
Exactly. Here's what I just find very fascinating about the entire thing is everyone traces it to that Adam Page promo, but I think it's much earlier than that when it really sort of started off.
Probably immediate.
It was bubbling throughout the surface on the internet all the time, and you really saw it getting stoked by the Jim Cornette sort of set, and then that was sort of brought up a lot of like questions. Do you think they would bring that up? Do you know what I mean? He would steer the conversation towards that, and I do genuinely think that then CM Punk and AEW are performing a little bit into that because it's a parasitic relationship. Jim Cornette's audience is huge because basically a lot of AEW's audience want to, like, they love to hate their favorite thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And he provides that outlet. Welcome to the Jim Cornette experience. He's 4chan about wrestling only. Go ahead. Welcome, Jim.
But like here it is.
Here's the most extreme opinion about this for no reason. I don't apologize. Fuck you. And here's an unnecessary vitriolic apology about this that doesn't make any sense. Why did I say apology? Go ahead, Dylan.
Well, here are the main events for every single AEW pay-per-view. Well, there's only been like 12 so far, but like Moxley MJF, Moxley Kingston, Omega Moxley, Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle.
Thank God.
Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage, Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page, Hangman Page versus Adam Cole, and then you get CM Punk, Hangman Page. So my point is, like, in the year and a bit that this man has been here, the main events are pretty much Omega, Page, and then he got injured, but like CM Punk is in the last three events. It's just kind of like the stars of this company before were the Elite, and now it's CM Punk, and clearly there's going to be some upset people by that.
I completely agree with you, but I think that everyone here is too good at doing business. I do think a lot of this is exaggerated. I truly think it is because it also coincides perfectly with MJF coming back. Like, if you like,
that's why it doesn't seem like a work to me, because then you'd put all of the focus on the guy coming back.
No, you don't, because these guys are all catered. Like, they are smart enough to. How did they build this company? Was by like a YouTube show manipulating and drawing an audience to them, making themselves bigger than a promotion. If that same idea is applied to a promotion, they would maybe try and manipulate.
But it wasn't by work shoots. They did really but they're now sketches.
Yeah, okay, but this is now a different version of that. They're doing a new version of a dumb sketch. The dumbest version of a sketch, not funny. Serious sketch. You know what that is, Dylan? It's a play. They're doing a...
I just do not think that these guys would work shoot it. Like, I think that Tony Khan would.
I want to die on this hill. I don't actually believe this as much as I'm vehemently saying I do.
Why not? Do it for the show. There's people out here who believe this, and there's no voice of the voiceless.
I am the voice of the voiceless, the best in the world.
Exactly.
Dylan, sing it with me. I'm Gandhi.
Yeah, I'm Gandhi. I hitting on a hostess who just turned 23.
Other CM Punk jobs, a barber who gets way real with you.
He looks like a lot of hipster professions.
Exactly. He really looks like someone that was a female comedian's boyfriend in 2010. You know what I'm saying?
He looks like a lot of...
yeah, I'm thinking about doing some open mics as well. Oh, really? I think you should probably stay away from police stations because you give me a bad vibe. You say you're a professional banjo player.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a guy who, like, well, I mean, I've seen you do comedy, now you have to see my poetry.
Exactly. Yeah, the kind of guy that's like, "Hey man, I stuck around to see you at it. Do a set. Why aren't you sticking around?" That guy in all of comedy, they're like, "Hey, I
Oh.
stuck around to watch you." What are you talking about? Well, that was a mistake.
It's classic. I mean, this is a story as old as time. That guy's a fucking piece of shit. Good lord, he's good at his job, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we
That's
know
the thing.
so many
Yeah.
comedians like this.
Oh
Where it's
yeah.
like, what a fucking cunt.
You're looking at two of them.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Guess what? Do you want to know why
Yeah.
that Dylan and I
We're
do this
very
podcast in two
unliked.
different countries? We can't stand each other.
Oh yeah.
You're looking at two cum punks, just different consistencies. Mine.
Two slut comes.
Yeah.
That's another. That's actually the better version. If you change your name from CM
Slut
Punk
cum?
to slut cum.
all forgiven. Attention, Phil. All forgiven if you change your name to slut cum. I like how much darker this has gotten, even still.
And the thing is, the Hangman Page thing probably stuck with him. No, it didn't resonate at all.
That's the thing.
But like the part of it where he talks about workers' rights.
He did all of this. Sorry, go ahead.
I just mean that like clearly Adam Page has a point, and there's nothing that makes people like that angrier than when they are.
Oh yeah.
Well, like CM Punk sends out a tweet about workers' rights with the Sasha Naomi Banks thing. Page hits him with this shit, and it gets him really mad. And this was brought up on Post Wrestling, and I think it speaks to like our kind of caricature of CM Punk. But it's like you can't hit a dude with this like personality with shit like that because he's really sensitive. Like CM Punk is very clearly a very sensitive boy. His parents he like ran away from home at like 14 and has never contacted or tried to contact his parents since. He clearly, him and Colt Cabana, for whatever you want to say about them, were inseparable, and everything to like photographed it. Colt Cabana is part of the pipe bomb, one of the great moments in professional wrestling, and they're inseparable. And then all of a sudden, CM Punk drops him like a hat. Like this guy is fucking. This guy's really easy. I'm gonna say galvanize. Anyway, he's hot and cold, and he'll just fucking cut people out.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised he's still in AEW. I'll be surprised if he has like, I would say he probably has like 3 more matches left in him, maybe, because this is exactly how he leaves. Sorry.
I think he's an incredibly canny performer. I think he's incredibly smart about knowing how he's presented. And I think he is a lot more aware that our caricature here on this very program is very much a lot of people on the internet and in the wrestling fan community's opinion of the young man. So I think that he's playing into it a lot more than people realize. Again, this guy's very canny about how
he's that smart.
I do think he is that smart. I got to be honest.
Because if you're that smart, then you do what Kurt Angle did, which was say you're going to get in the UFC and don't. Get the publicity and don't do it. This guy literally was like, I'm 38. I could win the world title.
I'm not saying he's smart in all facets of his life. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that this guy is an incredibly good wrestling mind. I fucking think CM Punk sucks as a human being. I think he can eat. You know what he is, Dylan? He's a big old poo eater. He eats poo.
What?
That's right. I said it. Thank God you were sitting down. You could have been shocked. But he's a fucking dick, and fuck him. But Jesus Christ, does he make wrestling exciting? And it absolutely plays. MJF is going to walk out and go, how fucking dare you guys talk about this fucking loser with a chest tattoo? He has a tattoo on his belly like a dog. Go fuck yourself. Also, people that rep Chicago really hard could suck my fucking anus. I'm from Chicago. It's like when people rep Toronto. It's like, that's fine. It's good. Yeah, I understand. I like those cities are great. You don't wear this well.
Fuck you.
I'm from the 6. Go fuck yourself. Chi-Town forever. Eat my buttocks.
Yeah, if anyone's like, I'm from this place, it's like, that's what you decided on? Why don't you be a cowboy?
Yeah, I always say that. Exactly.
I'm a cowboy.
I'm a pirate.
Arr.
I'm a fucking Viking, bro.
I haven't ever bought a movie. I still torrents everything.
Yeah. Viking noise.
Arr.
Yeah, what is a Viking noise?
Ooh.
Oh. Are we canoeing?
Travel. Bum, bum, bum. I'm a Viking. Bum, bum, bum.
Ooh, the new world. Bum, bum, bum.
So anyway, yeah, CM Punk. John.
Go ahead.
Quick question. How many more matches in AEW does he have?
5 more years. He's 5 more years. He's around for the long haul. I think that this is what happened. In the week leading up to All Out, the fucking Kenny Omega, CM Punk, and the Young Bucks were like, they had fucking passive aggressive millennial words. You know what I'm talking about? Unnecessarily amounts of food were around. Someone went, all right, we're going to do this. You know what I mean? There was an unnecessary extra person there. I've been this person for people. You've been this for people. Why are we having this overt conversation with me being here? Oh, if there's one extra person, this is just something you can in your high head casual say you casually stumbled upon. You absolute maniac. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is what I think that actually happened, and then they hatched this plot. There is no way Kenny Omega has too many jackets with feathers on them to throw a punch. CM Punk, I understand that what you're saying. He is the world's worst, best professional fighter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he is the worst professional fighter. They're making him one of the best amateur fighters. I don't think he is stupid enough to throw a punch. I do guarantee that Ace Steel is a Midwest. He's either very sober or very much needs to get sober, and I could 100% see him trying to bite someone from Manitoba, and then Kenny Omega just being like, buddy, this, and like Kenny Omega mentioned some weird bar that is a shortened name. That's how you know you're in a real shit part of Canada. We're heading over to the Fed, and you're like, oh, it's short for the Federalist Hotel. We're heading over to the Roy. Oh, that's short for like the Royal Academy of Drinking Liver stuff.
There you go. Drinking liver stuff. Good improv.
Thank you. Yes, and.
I think that, I think it's real and it's awkward, and I really.
I think it's awkward. I think it's awkward no matter what. Kenny Omega and CM Punk talking.
It does feel like it. Like we said this before.
Do you
wrap it up on this?
Hard to order food at a sushi restaurant if you're vegan, Phil? We don't have to talk, man.
That's what you think it is back then?
That's 100%. No, I think that's what it is on the airplane. Hey.
I guarantee it's like, hey, have you seen this manga? Don't watch manga. Do you know what G.I. Joe is? Probably don't, bitch. He's one of those guys also.
Yeah. That guy, he really
fucking hates anime.
Yeah,
fuck anime. Why?
Because I'm still young. Bro. Yeah.
Thundercats or whatever.
Yeah, I love Transformers, but not the fucking Michael Bay movies. That one with Orson Welles in it. I'll bring that up. Also, very passionate about one aspect of one conspiracy theory. I don't know, all that other stuff is bullshit, but the moon landing, you got to think about it. You know what I mean? Like, just a little too much Rogan. You know what I might like to say? You know, it's very hack to bring him up at this point. And I have it sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is a part of me that's like, well, I'll tell you what'll fucking cure COVID. There's fucking more elk meat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not above it.
Everyone thinks they're too jacked to die.
That's how I feel. I ran up 2 hills today, and I'm like, yeah, man, I fucking rule. Better eat a cake.
I ain't no bitch. I ain't gonna die. Like,
of course, I'm a car owner now.
You own a truck?
That's right. I bought a truck like an absolute prick. You can get.
The only comedian to ever own a pickup truck, John Hayes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can put almost, oh my God.
Red truck.
Don't fuck around.
Just fucking please. You're going to go 1 mile per hour over and get caught for speeding. That's how
I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I love it. It's
you need
so
truck
fun.
Nuts?
Of course, I'm getting truck nuts.
You need a fucking bunch of tribal stickers.
I'm getting truck nuts for every state.
Anyway.
Everyone join the Patreon. We will only be using that money to buy different state flag truck nuts for my truck. That's the only. Dylan has a child who will not be seeing any of that money. That money will be going to state flag truck nuts. This is the wrestler review. Enough talking about fucking wrestling. Let's get down to what we're all fucking here for, and that is weird penis-related humor. Truck nuts for my truck. Flag truck nuts. Every state. Every state.
Every single state.
I'm really hoping they change Mississippi's flag. Real fingers, very much crossed.
Confederate flag still?
Yeah, I think they might be. Ah, damn it.
Good flag though. You can tell me. You can write that down. That is a aesthetically pleasing flag that means hate. That's like when I saw this YouTube video that was recommended to me. It said, "Why were the Nazis so stylish?" And I was like, "What fucking led you to believe I would watch this?"
And did you watch it? Because I watched that YouTube video. It was excellent. I don't remember a goddamn thing about it.
Hugo Boss did the Nazis.
Hey, goddamn right.
I fucking hate the Nazis.
Yeah,
anyone who's like anyone, but no, they don't.
For you.
Because they go like, no, they don't. Because there are way more Nazis than you think there are. And also, it's like people will bring up things like, well, the Nazis, like, what? Did you read that on the website? The good things about the Nazis.com, you fucking prick? Some things are just bad.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The Nazis are not CM Punk.
Ladies and
They're not
gentlemen,
like, well, you got to give it to him.
No,
you
I don't have to give.
Fuck
I
them.
don't give them anything. Oh, they made the trains run on time. Yeah, go fuck themselves. Yeah,
who
I
made
don't
the trains run
them.
on time before that? The fucking Germans. The Germans always have.
Yeah, they always have. They're very fucking boring, weird. They're actually not boring at all. They want the trains to run on time so they can get into the center of their towns to have weird fuck orgies because Berlin predicted what 2022 would be. This is something I was just thinking about today, which was hosting an orgy used to be the domain of a billionaire. And now just a barista is doing it. Do you know what I mean? We have really, like, look how far you have to go to stand out as a billionaire now. This, I think I may turn into stand up as I'm saying this right now. That I think is definitely like I'm going to Mars now. When I was 10, Bill Gates his house is a whole lake. And everyone was like, this fucking guy's out of his fucking mind. And now it's like, we're going to Mars and only white people are going. This Elon Musk trying to stand out in the crowd.
I mean, yeah, sure, fucking piss off Elon now. First Phil Brooks, now Elon. Come on.
That's right, guys. You know what we are, Dylan? You know what we are?
They'd probably get along.
You know what we are, Dylan?
What?
Heat magnets.
Whoa.
That's right. That's right. We're fucking heat magnets, bro.
Yeah, we don't care what you think, Kenneth Omega. If
Whoa,
that is your
Dylan.
real name.
What? My God. Fucking Jesus
Why don't you
Christ.
cleaner your face, you dirty piece of shit?
I didn't.
So that's it. I think
I didn't realize that someone was about to play some Our Lady Peace because Edge Lord Dylan. Oh my God! Another Dylan. Do you know what that was?
Heat.
It's another hot take. We did it again. We fucking did it again, bro.
I think that the final thing I want to say is if you have to choose between the entire Elite and CM Punk, you're clearly picking CM Punk. And
I hate CM Punk with my entire core. I don't follow really AEW since he's gotten involved in that goddamn promotion, and I gotta completely agree with Dylan. God, I picked CM Punk over,
he's better than them, and also that kind of solves a weird problem you had where you have too many wrestlers. Where it's like, yeah, the Elite is out.
If the Elite end up in WWE, do you understand that
that's their best move?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2022. Well, what happened? Well, Vince McMahon retired after a variety of groping and financial impropriety allegations, and that was the most expected part of the year. Wait, what? Yeah. Who is the WWE champion by the end of the year? Kenny Omega? Who's the AEW champion? Same answer. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a wrestling show, and they teach you this when you write sitcoms, but it literally went from a show with like Friends with an entire cast you have storylines for, where like Cody Rhodes had a storyline, Omega, the Bucks, Hangman, and then they obviously got turned upside down. But then it went from that to immediately the CM Punk show. So it's just
they did, but I got to tell you, the problem that everyone also has is that because when it became the CM Punk show, they still also continued to get success in that it didn't reflect in the ratings that people missed everyone having plots, because the problem with what you're saying when it comes to AEW is a lot of those plot lines were stinky, and the AEW and the CM Punk thing is at least vaguely compelling from what I've been able to glean. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, the other thing is that, sorry to cut you off, but like, when it started, AEW was like, oh, we could just get a fucking, the whole idea of like indie wrestling is like, if we just get some great matches together, then blah, blah, blah. But it's like, also you want cohesive storylines and great mic work. And AEW, because WWE's been scripted for so long, was the only place you could go for like really great promos by guys like Eddie Kingston, Moxley, all these guys.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing the Elite are not good at, it's promos. Like Hangman's probably the best of them.
Yeah, and he's not great. The other thing that's also very
he's
important,
like a good intercontinental wrestler or like a U.S. champion, like that guy.
The other thing that's very interesting about them is that they stuck too much to a script, even though they talked about always going with the flow, which is Kenny and the Hangman dropping. That was botched. They needed to have done that a pay-per-view earlier. They needed to do it at All Out, but they couldn't do it because of the debuting Adam. No, well, it was Cum Punk and Adam Cole and Brian Danielson all at the same time, and that I think, like,
they did it All Out.
No, they didn't. Hangman Adam Page won it at Full Gear, and it felt like a damp squib because it just was like it was like if Stone Cold Steve Austin beat Shawn Michaels at the No Way Out of Texas before WrestleMania 14. You're like, well, you couldn't beat him a week. I mean, I guess that's how you do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of everyone knew where it was going, and it was a great story, but you had to have like followed that story by watching their YouTube show too, and like kind of watch their whole careers. And
is the other thing is also CM Punk and John Moxley's stories have always been like, what's going on here? And it's like, that guy wants to punch that guy because that guy doesn't wear a shirt or whatever. And it's like, yeah, all right, we can get into this, no problem.
yeah.
But you like the Elite, it's like, so what's happening here? It's like, well, that cowboy's lost his spirit. Shut the fuck up. Go fuck yourself. This is professional wrestling. Someone
subtlety is
someone
not
kill a snake. Jesus Christ.
But that is true. Like, you make things complex afterwards. You need everything to be very simple, and then add complexity. Don't start off complex. And when AEW started, the Elite and Cody Rhodes basically said, like, there's gonna be thorough lines and everything. We're never gonna forget stuff. Blah blah blah. And now you're like, what? Checking here because I'm stupid. But you're like over 3 years into this, and it's like, I mean, it's wrestling, so obviously you get overwhelmed with the shit you have to do, and you're like, that guy's fighting that guy because he's angry. I don't know, man. Just fucking, we got to do 3 hours of this goddamn shit a week. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, that's done now. We're gonna record our regular episode and put this one up on Patreon as soon as we can.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for supporting our Patreon. These chats are fun to do. I've enjoyed doing it in the dark, like some sort of QAnon supporter, which I am. And I just want to let everyone know that continued support of the Patreon means that one day maybe we'll be able to afford lights. Dylan.